Wow. You may have gone to bed last night realizing that Trump was ahead in Pennsylvania by, 600,000 votes. Oh, now he's trailing. We're going to take you to Pennsylvania in a moment. We're going to listen to the Republican Secretary of State talking about the vote count there. It's an unholy mess. The whole thing is going to drag out for weeks. We all know it. Don't believe the lie that all of this is normal, that there's no fraud, there's no. Do you honestly believe that of the thousands of ballots cast and of the thousands of ballot counters, there's no fraud? You really believe that? Let's look at Pennsylvania just for a moment. This came from Reuters. The U.S. Postal Service said about 1,700 ballots had been identified in Pennsylvania at processing facilities during two sweeps yesterday and were being delivered to election officials. Come on, hey, Pennsylvania, you don't need to steal. Call the Union Hall. In a court filing, the USPS said 1,076 ballots had been found at the USPS Philadelphia Processing and Distribution Center. 300 were found in Pittsburgh, 266 at a Lehigh Valley facility. But there's no fraud going on. There's no evidence of it. I mean, Chris Christie said so yesterday. Didn't you see Chris Christie? He said he went on ABC and made them all very happy. Chris Christie saying you gotta provide the evidence. So I guess this story from the United States Postal Service of a bunch of ballots that were still in the Pennsylvania postal facilities that hadn't been delivered, that's not any kind of irregularity, right, Governor Christie?
Chris Christie, it should not have to be said, counting absentee ballots is not illegal, it is not fraud, it is not corruption.
George, let's say I've been fortunate enough to be on the ballot a number of times myself. I've won, I've lost. And so as a candidate, you're even more invested in the integrity of the system. Right, so if this stuff is going on that the president's talking about, all of us want it ferreted out because it would undercut everything that we believe in our system. But as a prosecutor, that's like asking me to indict someone without showing me any evidence. If you're going to say those things from behind the podium at the White House, it's his right to do it. It's his right to pursue legal action. But show us the evidence. We heard nothing today about any evidence. I want to know what backs up what he said so that I can analyze it. And let me tell you, if he's right, I'll be outraged, and I'm sure you would be too.
And if he's wrong?
Oh, but you're not outraged. You're not outraged now, though, because there's no evidence. I heard that I'm hearing that from a bunch of rhinos. Oh, there's no evidence. Show us the. And I can spend all day going through these stories like from Reuters, the U.S. Postal Service identifying 1,700 ballots in processing facilities. But that's not enough, right? That's not enough to matter. Even though, in Pennsylvania, the president is now trailing by a whisker. Oh, no. Don't. Let me ask you a quick question. If you don't think there's anything abnormal going on right now. Let me just ask you this just a heartfelt question. How did Florida do it right? You think there were any mail-in ballots in Florida? Think there were any absentee ballots in Florida? You think there was, everything that Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Arizona is experiencing, Florida did. Why wasn't Florida why aren't they still counting ballots? Incidentally, I don't think the Biden team disputed the outcome in Florida, right? Wonder why Florida isn't still behind the eight ball, counting ballots and sending poll counters, vote counters home and all of this crap. But see, don't believe your lying eyes, right? Just listen to the smart kids. I saw Axios this morning. This is all normal. Counting all these ballots after Election Day is all normal. We go through this all the time, right? No, we don't. And like I told the last caller who's frustrated, and I understand your frustration, the virus changed everything. I told you at the beginning of this whole cycle, if you're a longtime listener to my show, I said back in February, everything's going to be determined. The outcome of this election will be based on the virus. The Democrats took advantage of it. They got the legislature to change whatever they could. They changed their processes. They changed everything they could to make sure there were millions and millions of ballots offered. Listen, what do you think Americans are going to do? We all take the path of least resistance, even if you're not worried about the virus. You can sit home and get something mailed to you, and you can mail something up, mail something in. Yeah, I'll do that. After I go to the grocery store, I'll sit home and fill in a ballot and mail it in. Wink, wink. It's a load of garbage, and we all know it. But again, don't lose the faith.